All right, class, what I want to do next is I want to create an analysis for this buy versus lease. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back here and I'm going to insert buy versus lease. Okay. And what I will do is I will copy and paste this bit of assumptions here. Now, what I'd like to do here is I would like to do car purchase, lease payments, interest rate, and actually I think what I'll do, I'll just sort of show you something that might be useful. I'm going to actually insert something right here, which is kind of nice because you'll notice when you do that, you actually keep the formatting. So I'll do that. Whoops, sorry. So I think what I'm going to do is just I'm going to copy this up. Get that out of the way. And then I'd like to do sale of car. Okay. And this will be, we're going to change this to a dollar amount and we'll call this 0 for right now. Now, what I want to do here is I'm going to create an analysis here and I'll start out with car purchase. I'm actually also going to put lease payments. I will put present value of the present value interest factor that I'll do. I'm going to do present value of the sale. And then I will do total present value. And this will include the car plus the sale. This will make more sense in a second. I'm just going to lay these out right now and then we'll build our model. So present value of the lease payments. And then I have the total present value of the lease payments, and then the difference. All right, so now what I'll do is I'm going to go and put 0, 1, 2, and I'll do the autofill and move that across here like so. And once I get to 10, then I'm going to just bold, underline, and then center. Let me also just sort of do an auto fit there on the cell to make sure we have enough room. Now, first thing I want to do is we're going to look at purchasing this car for $25,000. So I'll put $25,000 there. The lease payments are $3,000 a year for 10 years. So then I'll put $3,000 there. Now what I want to do is I want to just do some referencing. So I will put that right there. My lease payments, I will do equals, and then I'll reference the 3,000. By the way, I'll also do FN F4 or Command T if you have the Mac to make it a locked or anchored cell, and then I'll copy that across. So now when I do that, next thing I want to do is I want to do the present value interest factor. So I'll take equals and I'll do 1 divided by 1 plus this 8% in this case. I think it actually might be 5%, but let's just go with it for right now. And then hat, and then I'll take the 0. So I'm just going to go up, I believe, let's just double check. I think that is, yeah, actually 5%. So I'll do 5%. And let's just make this 4 places past the decimal. All right. Now, let me move this across and I'll get my present value interest factors right. I mean, for a reminder, essentially what this is, we saw it in bonds, sorry. Drag that across. Whoops. I thought I had made this. anchored. Take that across. Now I have the present value interest factor. Now, so what I want to do at this point is I want to say what is the present value of the sale. Okay. Maybe at this point as well, what I'll do is I'm going to make this sort of, I should say present value of the, let me back up here. I'm going to undo that. I misspoke. What I'm going to do is the sale would actually be, let's see, we'll put it up here. That will actually be referencing this sale of car. I don't have anything in the first case. So this would be, if I do this times whatever I have in that cell would give me the present value. Now it's 0 in this case. So then I want the total present value of the car. So I'll do equals that amount minus that amount, because that would actually lower the net present value that I'm investing. In this case, it's the same. I would also do the present value of the lease payments. So what I'll do at this point is I'll take each present value interest factor times 3,000 to sort of lay that out, and I will put that in dollar terms, get rid of my zeros, and then I'll just take that across like this. Then I end up with the present value, and I want to sum those present values to today. So I will press sum, highlight the first number in that lease present value line, press decimal or the period, and then I will anchor my first cell and then allow me to just take the right arrow key and go and highlight the rest. Then I will close the parentheses and I have present value of lease payments. So at this point, now I'm able to sort of say, okay, what's my difference? Well, it's that amount, and then I subtract that amount, okay? So in this case, the difference is 1835, which essentially represents that I'm spending more on the car than I am on the lease payments. So in this case, I'd want to go with the lease payments, okay? Now, what's interesting is you can go back and redo this, because what you'll notice here is, in this case, I would definitely want to lease it because it would be cheaper. So let's change one thing. Now let's pretend that I could sell my car for $3,000 at the end of 10 years. Would I buy or lease? So now the way we've set up this analysis, I can go and put that in there. Sorry, I will do this so I can see it. Let me just sort of get rid of some zeros past the decimal here. But you'll notice now I have 1842. Let me make this dollars and then do that. But that would be 1842, which now changes my answer, because notice now the present value of my car is less than the lease payments. So I would actually want to pay money for the car, because when I take into account how much I get when I sell the car, that's going to lower my net outlay in present value terms by 1842. And I would sort of say, let's go ahead and buy the car because it'll be cheaper than that, and that's what the difference is catching. Now, one thing that might happen is you may be uncertain about the number of years and the discount rate. So what I'd like to do is come back, and I want to show you something that will help you look at that, and that's something called a data table, and we'll also take a look at goal seek that might be useful, not only for this, but for your retirement problem.